Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Now, from time to time, you've heard me say a cheesy phrase that I picked up from others. And it's a little something like this. The longer the base, the higher in space. Meaning that the longer a cryptocurrency trades sideways, the longer it's range bound. Well, when it finally gets out of that range, it really goes. So the longer, the greater. And people get impatient, so they don't make it through the range-bound portion, and they start chasing cryptocurrencies that have already pumped this and that. Oh, yes, to be a silly little human. But this is what people do. And I want to share with you a couple things on this concept, because XRP, frankly, it's basically building like the longest damn base just about in crypto. Seriously. It's not like I've compared it to literally every other crypto, so I don't know for sure that it's number one, but it was probably number one or very close to it last market cycle, and it's looking to be shaping up to do the same thing again this market cycle. So I want to talk about that, and also I've got a few very short legal updates, just a couple interesting things I came across, including a 2014 era Ethereum purchasing agreement, which... You'll just have to see it. But suffice it to say, the SEC's case is toast as far as I'm concerned. In a world where justice has done the damn things over and XRP is vindicated and XRP gets relisted on all the exchanges that halted or delisted it, and life goes on. In a world where justice is sufficiently distributed, that's what occurs, and I'm optimistic for that, actually. But I want to be clear at the outset, I don't have a legal or financial background of any kind. I'm not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, I could have showed you a chart proving that XRP historically has had some very long periods of time where it's done nothing but trade sideways. And I've done that before. I have highlighted that. But I want to illustrate, well, yes, of course, I'm going to communicate. Yes, I'm doing it right now. That is true. But I want to highlight that it's not only XRP that goes through long periods of nothingness. Because to be truthful with you, and you can verify this is true yourself, just look up some damn charts. The most amazing, face-melting, life-changing asymmetrical returns to other assets, it occurs over a very short period of time. Think about this. Think about, even last market cycle, how long did XRP trade sideways or down, and how many days did it spend in its parabolic blow-off top? Well, I'll tell you what, when it finally did hit its all-time high of nearly $4, it did it in about 2.5 weeks, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of, 17 days, something like that. 17 days out of a span of years. You understand this, right? Which is why patience is required. It's not optional. It is required in order for life-changing wealth. It just is, period. But it doesn't just happen with XRP. So take a look at this tweet from somebody named Crypto Cohen. They're talking about a different cryptocurrency, a cryptocurrency called Algorand. I'm willing to bet some of you hold this. Here it is. Here's a chart. And here's what Crypto Cohen wrote. The longer the base, the higher in space, Algorand. And here's a chart indicating Algorand's been a big nothing in terms of price action. It hasn't gone. Okay, well, does that mean that it's just never going to go? Or perhaps is it more probable, given that the whole damn market moves in tandem, is it perhaps more probable that the damn thing out of nowhere at some unknown point in the future is going to rocket into the stratosphere? I'm going to shoot on that part. If I were making a bet, I'd say that. That would be my guess. I don't know when, but that's what I would guess. Same is true for XRP historically, and I believe that it's going to happen again. And that's exciting. In fact, do you understand how many people are jumping into XRP? I got to provide another update with this because I checked this again, and I don't know if there's another reason that maybe it's another airdrop I missed this, but you may be aware I made a video some days ago indicating that XRP just had an incredible number of individuals jump in, well, presumably anyway, or at least create new accounts. And so that's what this chart is on your screen right now. This is the last year of XRP account creations. That's this middle chart here on your screen right now. And so in a single day, we had the greatest number of accounts created one single day since the bull run that started in 2017 in December. 14,166 new accounts on October 20th. Crazy. And so I didn't know why, and I don't pretend to know everything. So, and I mentioned this actually just yesterday too, so I'll try and be brief with this. But I didn't know why, but I ended up finding out. It's because there was an airdrop, and so people created accounts to make sure that they were going to be eligible for the airdrop. Made sense. Okay, fine. So it's the first time we saw a big jump up without some sort of associated price action. That's the reason it caught my attention. And then it went back down a bit. Nothing crazy. There's still thousands of new accounts being created. But we're actually seeing that again here. October 28th, 9,673 freaking accounts created. So I don't know if there's another airdrop or if it's really just people more jumping in. But either way, look at what's happened over the last 12 months. My gosh, folks. There's so much, it's coiling up. There's so much money flowing into XRP. And there's so many new people that are in. Eventually, the thing's just going to burst. It's going to take a while longer. Fine. In all likelihood. So what? That's what we're here to do is nothing. We're here to do nothing and just wait. To be patient. Because again, like I said, being patient is not optional. It is required, period. You're going to have a bad time if you can't do that. I'm just being real with you here. And take a look at this, because I've been buying cryptos. I want to talk about this just a little bit. I'll share with you a little bit of personal information here. Take a look at this tweet, though. I want to read these few tweets, and then I'm going to tell you what I've been doing a little bit anyway. This is from Raoul Pal, who is a former Goldman Sachs executive, and he also is the founder of Real Vision, which is an awesome platform that covers all sorts of finance-related stuff, but really heavy on crypto stuff. I love it. It's fantastic, and it's not one-sided. Yeah, you'll have the Bitcoin maxis, but you'll have opposing viewpoints on there, and that's what I like. I want all viewpoints to be able to be heard and discussed, and then people can just come in, hear both sides, and decide for themselves what they think makes sense. And that's what Real Vision has been providing to this point, which is something of a rarity, and I actually appreciate that. And so here's what Raoul Pal tweeted out. Oh, by the way, worth mentioning too, he's pro XRP and he thinks it's going to go at least tenfold from roughly the $1 range. He's publicly stated that recently. So you're talking about, yes, at least $10 XRP, and he's betting on that. He has invested. Anyway, but here's what he tweeted out. To be honest and transparent, so I don't pretend I'm good. A whole bunch of my alts are way below all-time highs. I don't have much of them, but it's a drag on total performance. I switched some, but I'm hoping that some play catch-up. I don't pretend to get it right always. Which, by the way, I can appreciate. That's some fine transparency there. I like people that don't pretend that they're gurus because that's the route that I go. I'm not a guru. There's so many people that have successful YouTube channels. I'm not going to name names here, but there's so many of them, and they just pretend like they're all knowing this or that, and they present themselves in such a way that you must think, wow, how are they so sharp? How do they know all these things? I'm just like, you're just a regular dude making stuff up. That's why, like, for me, I'm like, can we just be real and cut through all that crap? Like, I'm just a dude. There is nothing special about me. I don't have a sophisticated approach, and I don't think I know I don't need one to be successful investing. I just need to hold and do nothing. Same is true for stocks. You can become a multi-millionaire of your lifetime just investing in stocks even without crypto. Like, that should be exciting in and of itself. Now, crypto is way more exciting, but I'm just saying. You get what I'm saying here? So I'm just saying I can appreciate the transparency here. Now, a Bitcoin maxi jumped in and wrote something that's not going to surprise you because they're a Bitcoin maxi. This person calls himself Sloth Toshi, like a sloth. I like sloths. Those things are kind of cute looking. Anyway, this individual wrote, the rough draft for the update to clients, ? Should have stuck with Bitcoin only. Ah, yes, only invest in Bitcoin. That's what the real people in the know do, right? Rob Paul wasn't having that, though. He wrote, yeah, but no. My alts portfolio is up more than Bitcoin, and my ETH is up 4x Bitcoin, so 4 times Bitcoin this year alone. Right, so like I've always said, and it's clear for very obvious reasons, altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin over the course of this market cycle. If you look at Bitcoin and pick your altcoin from bottom to top, altcoins will outperform. The reason being is that there's less money in them. It doesn't take much money flowing in to get this tremendous multiplier effect and this tremendous bidding up. And knowing that the market moves in tandem, it's obvious to see, of course, that's going to happen. It's not some sort of jab against Bitcoin. If I want to pick on Bitcoin, I'll just talk about all sorts of actual shortcomings, like it's very slow, it's costly for transactions, it's an energy hog, so on and so forth. But as far as the multiplier effect, no, it is what it is. And being diversified and holding Bitcoin's fine. I hold Bitcoin. I'm pro-Bitcoin. I'm still going to be real about its inefficiencies and so on and so forth. But yeah, altcoins, of course, that's where the life-changing wealth is to be made. Can we be real about that? Of course we can, unless you're a Bitcoin maximalist, and then apparently that's not freaking allowed. And so, look, I've actually been buying some altcoins recently. On Coinbase, I've actually just... Because, look, Coinbase is the kingmaker, right? I've been purchasing for the first time, and I hadn't really gone this route before, but, like, even... let me say this first. Even outside of what I'm about to tell you I purchased, like, or the route that I went here... Like, even without this, I'm sufficiently positioned. I have been for some time. It's actually before this recently. It's been a long while since I bought any crypto. In fact, I haven't even bought XRP in over a year. And there was the tax reasons for, like, that's why. It's my number one position. So I was like, I got to stop. But, yeah, so as far as what I've been buying recently, well, look, it's just a different approach. And again, even if this doesn't go well, like I think it will go well. But even if it doesn't, okay, whatever. I only invest money I'm willing to lose anyway. So what I did was I purchased some coins that I am not optimistic will be here in like a decade. I don't know, maybe by some stroke of luck, maybe they will. But I'm not counting on it. I'm talking about small cap coins on Coinbase. And specifically on Coinbase because Coinbase is like the kingmaker still. It kind of is. I've been watching and like... stuff gets listed on Coinbase, it pumps, blah, 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 blah. And they got so many damn people on the platform, people will be speculating. So I'm just thinking when altcoin mania really gets in full swing, I think the money's just going to flow into some of these eventually and they'll pop off. And so that was it. I did not research the fundamentals because, to be perfectly honest with you, like knowing what I know about the space, researching the fundamentals would be a waste of time. Even if they're good, this is a short-term play for me. And this is my bet. They're going to move because they're cryptocurrencies and they're on Coinbase, which helps, I think. I think it will. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. And so I bought some low-cap cryptocurrencies that are the only low-cap coins I've ever bought. And it's also true that the less money there is in a crypto, the greater the opportunity for asymmetrical returns, because how much money has to flow in to get a doubling, tripling, quadrupling? Like not as much money as like Bitcoin. Think about it. That's the reason the smaller cap coins, if they hit, you get a tremendous return compared to something like Bitcoin, which is number one in market cap, or any other large cap coin. But, they're more riskier. What if there's a bug in them, and then, like, what if there's a hacking, or so on and so forth? Like, there's all sorts of stuff that could go wrong. Like, what if they're just so poorly designed that they can just be taken advantage of, and then it goes to zero? So that's a risk. Like, these are risks that I'm not as worried about with XRP, which has been tested heavily in the real world for almost a decade at this point. So, like, I feel safer with XRP for sure. But yeah, I put in a chunk of change. And part of the reason also I did this, because I wasn't sure that I was going to buy any more crypto this market cycle, but part of the reason also was because I just had more cash than expected. I'm a business owner, and so, like, I don't know, like, things ebb and flow. I don't just have, like, a set salary necessarily. Like, sometimes I'll just go long periods of time without paying myself because it doesn't matter. Like, if the money is in the company checking account or I pay myself via payroll, it doesn't matter. It's still my money. So I don't really care. You know what I mean? As long as I can cover my bills and do what I want to do. But anyway, there was more coming in than I expected, like a good bit. And so I was like, all right, well, I can't keep this much money in in this inflationary United States dollar. Like, I can't do that. I can't do it. So I was like, I'm going to put a big old chunk of this into some crap coins that I don't think are going to be around in like a few years or a decade or whatever. And so that's kind of the bet that I made. But utility, like, as much as I care about utility for the long haul, yeah. The market hasn't figured this stuff out yet, so it doesn't matter. So that wasn't part of my bet. My bet was, I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble. Let's just see. But I do believe what I say. I do believe that the market moves in tandem. I believe that just about every coin on the planet's going to go at some point in time. And if I'm right and these go, I'm going to be cashing out very quickly. I'll just like a dollar cost average. And by the way, I'm still buying. I'll buy more today. So just like I'm dollar cost averaging it now, I'm going to exit as prices get higher. And so, yeah, XRP is my biggest bag. Like, that's what I'm counting on for my biggest gains this market cycle. That's why I think it's going to look. We'll see how it pans out. But who knows? These smaller cap coins, like you can just get, like in terms of percentage gains, they could definitely outpace XRP. That's just the truth of it, because XRP is a large cap coin. So that's not surprising. That's some sort of dig or negative thing against XRP. That's just like the state of things. But I bought XRP for a number of reasons, because there's utility, and I don't know when utility is going to matter. So if I'm putting like a big chunk of change into something, which I really did with XRP, yeah, that matters to me more. Putting in what I'd still call like, reasonably a lot, but still nowhere near what I put in XRP, these little small cap coins, I'm like, okay, if I lose it, I lose it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at. But it's it really is just that, and just how much money I had sitting in my personal checking account. I'm like, that's too high. This cannot be. Let's put it in crap coins and see if I lose it. Right? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of my approach. But I think it's going to go well. I actually do, because utility doesn't freaking matter. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. And I hate it, and it's stupid, but I kind of love it in the sense that I'm like, well, I guess I don't have to do research, And I spent so much damn time in late 2017 jumping into crypto, researching XRP and everything. And I'm glad I did. I really am glad I did. But I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I guess I could have just not done that. But I prefer to know, because, to be real, like, I learned a lot along the way, and as far as what's going to unfold with XRP over the next decade, yes, of course I'm glad I know it. So I'm only joking a little bit. I'm just saying it doesn't matter this market cycle, but yes, in subsequent years, what I know is going to become increasingly useful as people are trying to figure out where it makes sense to invest stuff. That's what I'm saying. All right, into the next topic. I'm going to be brief with this. Just a couple quick legal things I found interesting. This is from an XRP community member named TAIG, all up on the Twitters, who wrote the following. The Ethereum Foundation has dug their own grave. I mean, literally, it says in the 2014 Ether product purchase agreement, the purchaser recognizes that the Ethereum platform is presently being developed and may undergo significant changes before release. Security, and then a little emoji checkmark thing right there. Yeah, and this is what he's talking about here, where it's highlighted right at the bottom right there. This is the actual Ether purchase agreement from back in the day. Well, what do we know about cryptocurrencies that are not fully formed? They haven't been developed, but they're invested in. What have we seen the SEC say about such situations? Securities. Like, this could not be more clear. And I've never seen this before, so I don't know how they dug this up. But I thought it was awesome. I was like, yeah, I got to highlight this. It's just multiple pages. I'm not going to sit here and read all this. It's on your screen. If you care to take a look, you can pause and take a look at these pages. But yeah, that's it. It's just astonishing. So, like, justice has not been done to this point, which is why I'm like, I'm optimistic. But I'm just so glad that so many people, like, our community's gigantic, and we are really calling out the SEC for all of their nonsense. And I'd say rightfully so. We should be. That's reasonable. And then shout out to Stefan Huber for tagging me along with a bunch of others within the XRP community. This is funny, and this is interesting. He wrote the following. Hey, sorry for asking, but do you know who is the Chief Decentralization Officer of the XRP ledger? Now, why is he stating that? Well, look what he shared this. There's a little screen grab here. Look at this. Somebody named Evan on Twitter here, self-described as Chief Decentralization Officer. I'm sorry, I thought the SEC has claimed that the Ethereum, it's sufficiently decentralized, so that's why it's not a security. Bill Hinman made that very clear on June 14th, 2018, when he gave his Ethereum free pass speech. He made it very clear. Why is there a decentralization officer for something that's decentralized? Huh? The SEC is toast. In a world where justice is done, the SEC is toast. Period. That's it. That's it. Period. They have no case. They really don't. And I'm very optimistic. It's just like I keep saying. I don't know for sure. None of us can know for sure, but at a minimum, cautiously optimistic. All right. Well, anyway. As far as the small cap coins, so like they're real tiny. You're talking about, I don't know what they are today, but probably somewhere in the range of like a $60 million market cap. Whereas with like XRP, it's at over 50 billion at the time I'm recording this. So I'm just saying, if one of these hits, it could be, in terms of percentage gains, ridiculous. And so I was like, I'll take the risk. Well, I'll take the risk. And last market cycle, so the market moved in tandem, and I saw every single mid and large cap coin move together. I didn't actually check every single small cap coin, so I don't know if there were outliers where maybe some didn't. I don't actually know that. But the market still moves in tandem, and so we'll see what happens here. I'm optimistic that it's going to do that, and that's where I'm placing my bet. So we shall see here. But they are some small cap coins. I've never owned any cryptocurrency with such a small market cap because I do view them as more risky, even though I acknowledge that the market, of course, moves in tandem. There are other things that can happen, like I said, in terms of if is there a problem with the code, which we have seen. We've seen people lose their money because things were poorly written, and there were instances where platforms were taken advantage of and destroyed, and so that's a caution. That's a concern I have with these that I don't have with XRP. So, is what it is. Life's weird, man. I love it though. I love crypto. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.